How's my hair?
Perfect.
Good, good, good. All of it? Okay, good. Good, good. All right, I mean, you know, when you play 30 games, right, in a season, they're all not going to be pretty. And obviously, tonight's game, wasn't, whether it was a post tournament championship hangover, the travel, it's been a lot, but there's no excuses, and I just felt that, we weren't connected here tonight, and we're obviously the better team, we're more talented, but I'm just disappointed, with, how we played, and I just felt that we weren't connected, and you saw that. You saw that within, our unforced turnovers, or sloppy. We were, trying to, thread the needle on passes, to the post, and they're going out of bounds, and so, we just got to be better than that, and that was the part that was disappointing, and. But when we needed to, Sam Breen obviously came through, scored a ton of points for us in rebounds. I thought Bernia's big three at the end there was crucial. She had 21 points here tonight. But we just got to be better. We got to be systematic, and we played so well down in Florida. I was hoping that we would bring that back. But again, team scout you. They try to muck it up today. There's no question about that. They try to be physical. And get into us and so forth. And you got to give them credit. There was absolutely zero flow to the game. The stoppage hurt us as well because we couldn't just get out and run. And so it's just stagnant. If I, and again, our goal is, we want our fans to come in here and leave and say, wow, they were fun to watch. I'm not sure if that was the case here tonight, but they're all not going to be pretty, and so, but super proud of our, got the win, and that's what we needed to do. And we'll learn from this and continue to move on. Questions?
First, is there any update on McKenna?
She's going to be day to day. Yep.
We didn't really get clarification on the technicals at the like a minute and a half into the fourth. Can you tell us what went on between Destiny and the Yale player?
Yeah, I just think that, because they got face-to-face, the official called a double tech on them. So I think Destiny, their player got in Destiny's face, said something to her, happy holidays, whatever it was. And, obviously, Destiny was standing up for herself as well, and so that's where the double T's come into play.
Was it for herself or was it Angelique? We weren't sure.
No, it was for her. It was Angelique. Yep.
Breen had another double today for fourth of the season and her 44th of her career. Is that level of productivity and that standard of play almost expected of her at this point?
Yeah, I think that I've always said that, and when it's not, I'm like, what's wrong with you? But, all kidding aside, I thought she was, offensively, she did a really nice job for us. Would have liked to see her score a little bit more in the first half, but I thought that in the second half she tried to, get buckets for us, and she did do that.
You said that Yale was going to come in and be physical and they scattered you guys. Was that something that you anticipated coming into this game?
Yeah, I think that's what we anticipate, with every, opponent. You're going to look at us and look at our strengths and, try to figure out, what can they take away. And, they were icing or they were downing the on-ball screens. I'm sure you guys saw that. And, but regardless of what they do, we're prepared for it. We've seen it. We've seen it. Our players have seen it, so it's not like, we're panicking at all. But there were times I thought, in the second period, we looked really good. We looked really fast. We moved the ball, and we're getting runouts and scoring. But then I just thought in the second half, because of all the stoppage of play, was pretty frustrating and stagnant. And we want to play fast, and which obviously, benefited them. So. But again, we're going to come back. We got a travel day tomorrow, and we get the opportunity to go play in the national scene against two very good teams.
So Mayo was a major contributor tonight. What would you say that she contributes the most each game?
Well, I just think that, her and Destiny are both catalysts for us, right? They make us go, and Bernaya has the ability to get downhill, get to the basket. You saw her in transition, whether she's, distributing the ball or, taking it up herself, she just makes things happen. And so, she's looking to score herself or she's trying to create for her teammates. So she's a scoring point guard, and she's ultra aggressive and competitive. And that's why, we're so successful because of the things that she does and brings each and every single day.
It seemed like Yale wanted to kind of hit number 20, forget her name, on the initial kind of post insert, but Layla did kind of a nice job either not letting that initial pass in, and if it did, kind of altering the shot. Obviously, not every single time was perfect, but kind of the first time Layla got some heavy minutes. I'm just kind of curious your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to, and so, with each and every single game, she's going to get those minutes. And, I mean, Anne's got some, the fouls that she got, I didn't think were great. I thought she's standing straight up. They're saying that she's, coming down. I disagree with that, but, film doesn't lie, so we'll take a look at that. And coming into this game, Ange and I talked about, like, not getting in foul trouble. But it just, again, she gets two quick ones and then she has to sit out and can never get in the rhythm of the game. So, and then as far as, 20 goes, I mean, she scores 14 points, 7 above her, what she's averaging. And we got to do a better job of post defense. I thought there were times where we just allowed her to go to the basket. And so, and that's not acceptable. So we'll look at tape, we'll learn at it, we'll learn from it, and then we'll move on.
Bernia's 21 points were a career high for her, and she's been a real closer for you guys all year. Is it your goal to get the ball in her hands in crunch time, or does it kind of just happen that way?
Well, I think we have options, and I think that, when you go back and you look at the Drake game, she had the opportunity to tie it up at the end, right before the last possession that Drake had. And, we had three options there. And so, and all three options are good. The first one was Sid. She curled it, and she was, denied. The second is Sam stepping right back to the ball. And then the third is getting downhill. And that's the same play that we ran against Richmond where she won the game at the buzzer beater. So it's been good for us. But she's just so competitive, and she has a will to win. And so, and any, I would be comfortable with the ball in any of those three guys' hands down the stretch. But I think that, Bernai has that confidence. It seems down the stretch.
Alongside Sam with Layla and Ange, and then obviously when McKenna comes back with her, what are you looking for in that piece alongside Breen down low in the paint?
Well, I think each one of those guys brings a different dimension, if you will. They're so different. I think McKenna is so physical, but also has a great skill set offensively. And you look at both her and Ange playing together last year. And you go back to the championship game against Dayton. Ange started, and McKenna played, basically almost the whole second half and did an unbelievable job. And it was just because, one, her physicality, and then number two, her skill set. She's able to score, with her back to the basket and also facing up. So, they're all different, but we want, all those guys to, be able to score with the back to the basket. And, we've seen this before where teams have put their bigger post player on Sam. And, and if they do that, then whether it's Layla, Ange, or McKenna, those guys got to duck in and get touches right around the rim and go score the ball. There were times tonight like where Layla had the opportunity to go score it. She's kicking it out. I want post players to believe in themselves, have the confidence to go score the ball. Because when you look at the game and you look at where they're touching the ball, all right, the percentages are higher, right? So when she catches the ball right around the block, you're looking at, probably 55 to 65%. Like you kick it out, you're at 32%. So like I'm like, go score the basketball, and you deserve it. You work hard, go score it. So, and those guys will, they will. All right, thank you guys.
We'll start with questions for Sam and Bernard.
Bernia, congrats on a career high in points. What was the key to having a good scoring?
Thank you. And for me, knocking down my free throws and being aggressive on offense. I feel like every day in practice, like I'm gaining more confidence, and then knowing what to do in transition and being systematic, obviously.
Bernaya, along with the 21 points, you also had 5 steals and were kind of that person on position. What were you seeing from Yale's offense that allowed you to have that many steals?
I feel like just going over their offensive stuff the day before kind of give me a look at it, and then obviously just reading and being in the passing lanes, getting my hands on it, and being active.
So you said you've been getting more confident in practice. Where is that coming from?
Just trusting the work I put in over the summer, and obviously years before that. Like I've honestly I feel like this summer was probably one of the hardest summers I've went through. Just knowing like I was in the gym every day, constantly putting the work in, and then coming here for summer session, I continue to do the same thing. So at this point, it's kind of just like the work I put in is obviously showing.
Sam, you had a pretty explosive night as well with 25 points and, looked really strong on the court. I think it's been one of your stronger games this season, and after a season like with last year where you were dominant in a lot of games, and this year it's been tougher for you to sometimes score. Like, does it feel good to have a night like tonight where you're like, okay, like I can still knock down 25 points like it's nothing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was definitely a little stretch there where I lost a little bit of confidence and was just like in a slump. But having a good stretch of practices and just kind of like getting that back, I think has been definitely needed for me. And I'm a little bit more confident underneath again, and just getting the shots that I got last year.
Brady talked kind of a lot about the stoppages in the second half. Obviously, that's his coaching perspective, just sort of from you both being on the court, sort of, not necessarily what was it like, but sort of walk me sort of through how you were uplifting each other and kind of trying to work through Yale, constantly either calling timeouts and then eventually the kind of double team stoppages as well.
I mean, I think obviously it dragged the game out a little bit, but a lot of it maybe. But I think just staying together and, we had a few slip-ups, faced some adversity, and didn't do what we usually would do, and just kind of like reminding each other what to do in situations like that, and that it's not going to happen again. And just like having each other's back, like if someone messes up a little bit, all 4 of us are going to go right there and pick them up.
Like she said, just giving each other confidence, telling each other, like asking each other what's the next, like doing a stoppage, giving each other that, like telling us to catch our breath. All right, let's settle down. Let's do what we do. Let's finish the game strong.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are now the 10th best team in the country in terms of free throw percentage. I asked Coach if anything has changed about this, and he said, Nathan, they're just making them. But from your perspective, has anything changed? You're shooting now 81% as a team. Last year you shot 68% as a team. That's a pretty big change.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I agree with him, just because we're literally we shoot the same.
Yeah.
Like we shoot in practice, have a down and back if we miss. Nothing's changed in that regard. Like I guess just maybe a little bit more in individuals and stuff in the summer, but really we haven't done too much different. And last year we made them in practice and maybe didn't translate. This year it's just translating.
Yeah, like she said, we're literally just making them.
So knock on wood, it's gonna continue.
Sam, you've obviously had the connection over the years with Ange and McKenna, but Layla's new to the team this year, and just as alongside you down low, how have you seen your chemistry grow with her on the court?
Obviously Layla's extremely talented, and I think just where she's working on is her communication, and not that she's not talking, she's just a little bit on the quiet side. So just like kind of reminding her to keep having that part of her game, because regardless, the scoring, the rebounding, she's always going to rebound, she's always going to get boards, she's incredible at that. And just keeping the talk up, because that's something that, I mean, she's still young, she's only a sophomore, so just keeping that part up. And she's been doing a really good job of focusing on talking, so now it's just more of the volume piece. And I think she's going to be like really good the rest of the year.
Building off of that, kind of, Bernaya, we saw you maybe in that quieter like role as a sophomore. Do you just kind of see yourself in Layla a little bit? And if so, have you sort of encouraged her to find her voice, or necessarily just do exactly kind of what Sam was saying, communicate more, even though obviously she is new and young?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I tell her all the time, like that was me. Like I was quiet. Like I was second guessing it, like if I'm right or not. But like, honestly, just like having an upperclassman tell you, like, just speak up, like use your voice more, and like it helped me throughout the year. So hopefully it's helping her, and we see it every day. Like she's starting to be more vocal, and it's coming along, honestly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.